little package here. This is just one sheet of 4130, 190 thousandths, I believe is what it is. And normally I won't do an unboxing on stuff just because it's just material. Like I say, this is just one sheet. I've got a box of aluminum coming in later that's got some 40 thousandths in it. Anyway, this is probably over the years the first. I've dealt with Wix aircraft a little bit, and I like to tell you what I can about suppliers. You're going to use all of the major aircraft suppliers. If you're shopping and doing a plans build, you're going to shop Aircraft Spruce. You're going to shop Air Parts. You're going to shop Wix, and there's a whole bunch of other suppliers that you'll have to track down. I'm a big advocate if you've got a local steel supplier. A lot of times they can be competitive. Now on the 701, I used my local Pacific Steel as a primary supplier of aluminum. 6061, they did really well on me, or really well for me. Shipping cost, I didn't have to pay shipping, other than with a couple of exceptions that there was some misunderstandings, we'll say, as I transferred from one sales rep to another, so that I had for a while. Anyway, you're going to use the main suppliers. I suggest you shop all of them. Now for 4130 or aluminum, I don't remember ever using Wix. They seem to be far enough away that shipping was kind of a deterrent. And although I think they've kind of changed that around a little bit, because for like the small pieces, it was reasonable. It wasn't good, but it was reasonable. So, and 190 thousandths, I had trouble finding. So anyway, I bought it from them, and I mainly wanted to show you because I haven't opened this at all. It's strapped with banding. It's a sheet of 190 thousandths, and we're about an inch thick is what it looks like on this packaging. So I'm kind of curious what they've done a really good job packaging. Anyway, I thought we'd just open it while you're here watching, so you can see what we actually got. Because like I say, this is my first time of actually using them for materials. Packing looks to be excellent. And I've ordered some rivets from them here just recently, just because they were competitive, but also they had some stuff that nobody else had in stock. And right now that seems to be a problem. So what they've done is they packaged this in corrugated cardboard, it looks like, because I see I see 2 layers on the one side, at least 2 layers, and I'm assuming we've got the same on the other side here. Yeah, they've done a really good job packaging this. And that was the main thing I wanted to show. So this is what they've done with it. It's corrugated around, so it's very well packed, which that's one of the things that I'm liking to see, that I watch quite a bit for now. When you order from Amazon for, just normal everyday stuff, like it's wadded up in a box or an envelope, and what you got's what you got, and about half the time you send it back because it was damaged or screwed up or something. Anyway, neither here nor there. That's the main thing I wanted to show you. This is the material for the wing attach fittings, and they're what I'm cutting out this morning. So yeah, good job packaging. And a packing slip. So yeah, anyway, that's what I've got. I'm going to clean up this mess, clean the tape off with the rest of this, look it over, double check thickness, and then we'll go ahead and start laying this out. Now, one thing I will say about Wix that I have been impressed with, and like I say, I haven't used them hardly at all over the years, they have been extremely quick to ship this stuff. Rivets went out, next day type of thing, or same day, or I got notifications anyway. 190, it's listed on the website as they cut that to order, and it went out same day, next day, something like that. So really good service from them so far. I'm going to start my layout. And I've already made an initial line here. My parts are going to lay this way, and they'll alternate back and forth. I need 8 of them across here. Now, one thing to be aware of when you're laying out metal, when you order your metal, and this one kind of surprised me, you want to be aware of your grain direction of the metal, because it's got a grain to it. Normally when you order a piece like this, I expect to see grain direction running this way. This one's not that way. This one is running this way. So, which it works out fine. I'm probably going to get a little more waste than I would have had I had the grain been running the other way, but I don't really care at this point in time. So these parts are 7.187 or 7 3/16 is what they're calling for. Overall length of this, and this is a 12 by 18, I believe, is what this is. 9 by, oh, this is 9 by 9 by 9 by 18. So that's still fine. So I'm going to alternate them back and forth. Layout's pretty consistent. I'm going to use a 1-inch spacing as my initial spacing. So what I'm going to do is the larger arc on the end of this is they're calling for an 812, so 11/16. And I've already initially set this. Let's go ahead and make sure we've got it right. And I've got a couple of these little rulers. This is the newest one. And this is just a little side note on cutting aluminum with these. I will use these as a straight edge to cut aluminum. On the 701, I used the inch side. Since it was metric, I used the metric side for layout, and I used the inch side to score my lines if I was cutting it with an Olfa knife. This one, since it's in the English or imperial threads or imperial layout, why I'm doing the opposite. So this is going to be my cut edge on aluminum, and the inch is going to be my layout. We'll use that as our layout for our 11/16. And then our layout for that, once we get the initial one set up, we can lay out all our lines. We are now to our first hole from here. We're 2 inches, but since we're going to alternate these, we're going to carefully lay these out on inch marks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's going to be them right there. I think we'll go ahead and center punch this one too. That will be our end hole. And for that one, they're calling for a 0.38. So we've got a 3/8 radius is what that's going to be. Okay, we need that 7 more times. I realize there's a lot of diddling around here, and a lot of people may find it boring, but there again, this is for my build log, and maybe to show a little bit that might be useful for somebody. Okay, so that'll be our layout. And what I will do probably is I will drill this hole and this hole on each one of these. Then I'll go back and gang them together, bolt them, and then I'll drill the rest of them so that they're all exact, hopefully exact. Actually, I may just drill one end, gang them together, then lay out the other. I don't know. We'll see. Those are our hole locations, but first spacing between here and here is 2 inches. Everything else is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 holes with 1 inch spacing. So, just so we don't have any confusion here, let's go back and mark this one out, this one out, this one out, 2, 3, 4. So that's the layout. So that's the way it looks. Now I'm going to take it out and we'll just rough cut them on the bandsaw out there. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to take them to the drill press and I'm going to drill the end holes in each of those. And that way we'll have a baseline so that we can start pinning them together. Then I'll go out, we'll cut them apart. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to center up off of those holes. I'm going to mount it in the milling machine vise just like that. I'll use those screws as references and lock them into the vise. I'll just put an extension on each side of those, my smaller vise, but nonetheless I'll do that. Then I can go back and drill these 4 holes. That'll give me the total of 5. I'll pin those together, and then we'll go back and open them up to just undersized, and then go back and drill this one and this one just to undersize. This one goes to just under a 1/2 inch, which they'll all be reamed to match. But anyway, these will be, ultimately they end up, I believe they end up being the equivalent of a 1/4 inch for an AN bolt, and then for those 5 holes, and then this one's just under a 1/2 inch bolt for there. And there's, I've got to go back and check dimensions on those, but that's what the print shows. So anyhow, well, I'll do that. Then I'm just going to leave them gang together. We'll set it in the middle like this, with this as our cut edge. I'm going to run a fly cutter across both edges to flatten them out and come down to our dimension here. And then I may set up the rotary table to cut these 2 radiuses. I'm probably just going to fit those by hand. We'll just grind them down and sand them down and bring them to final dimension. I don't know that I want to go to the trouble or it's necessary to set up the rotary table. But anyway, hopefully we've got enough material all the way around on all of these to cut our parts. And I'm not going to show all that machining. That's just standard machining. So if there's any questions about it later on, we'll just go ahead and ask. But anyway, we'll come back once we get those done. So there's where we're at right now. Everything's pilot hole. Got milled down the sides, and just going to radius the back edge. I'm just going to freehand it. I'm going to shave down that screw just a little bit so it doesn't protrude, so I can slide this on the table. But my markings are a little bit oversized, so we're just going to blend them in, and they're all going to be the same, so I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, well there's the general gist of it. I'm going to go ahead and we'll polish it along this way, get rid of these machine marks, make it all nice and smooth. We'll get the other end contoured, and then we'll come back and take a look at it and see how they look.